Hello and welcome in to We the Peasants podcast. Mr. Dad Bod. Today I want to talk a little bit about payday advances, not only at companies where you can go and you can get a loan basically on a payday advance, write them a check, and then they cash it, but you also from your employer. A lot of employers offer a payday advance. Basically, you work and you get paid every 2 weeks or you get paid once a month. You can get your paycheck early. Now, if you do that, they charge interest. The same as payday advances. They charge interest. So that's what I want to talk about today a little bit. I'm no expert in it. I've just been kind of looking into it. I've worked at a couple of places in my day that offered it, and it seems as if it is a trap to trap people because they have no money. They're trying to work, they're struggling, and these companies and these people offer this so that way it looks like a means to get out of debt or to help you out. It is not. It is a trap. Once you use it, you will never get out of it. Unless you miraculously win the lotto, get your taxes, a tax return or something of that nature, you will never get out of it. You'll have to keep advancing to keep up with your everyday life. These people have designed this to keep you in debt. The federal government designed a lot of these things to keep you in debt. It's the same with credit cards. It's the same with loans. All of this was created to keep us in debt, keep us working, and keep us slaves to what they call the American dream. It is not an American dream. It is an American nightmare, as we've learned. These politicians, in federal government, Congress and Senate, these people have been taking the money that you pay into federal taxes, that you pay into Social Security. They have stolen almost all of Social Security. They have dwindled all of the money that you pay in to the fact of we have $37 trillion in debt because these people are taking the money and keeping it for themselves. They live in mansions. They live the lap of luxury. They have several mansions, not only just one, several. You pay for their food, their travel. Everything is paid for by you. They have committees and PACs and Act Blue and USAID where they have been laundering money to make more money. Most of these people make about $175,000 a year or just a little more than that. They're all multimillionaires. It's because of the system that was created for you and me. The system that is available to us is you go to work, you pay taxes. You go to the store, you pay taxes. You buy a house, you pay taxes. Even if you pay that house off, you pay land taxes. And if you don't pay your land taxes, they take your house and sell it. But we're getting off topic here. Let's go back to this payday advance deal. Now, in the United States alone, there is 25,000 payday advance companies in the United States. Now, when they started doing loans within the United States, there was supposed to be a cap on how much interest they could charge because too much interest is illegal. But somehow, these companies and these people who are making a fortune off of you realized that they could create loopholes. They could create different ways to lend money, to do different things, so that way you would willingly sign up for the loan and get it. Most of the time it happens because you're broke. You're working your ass off. You're doing everything in your power to get enough money to provide for your family, but you can't. So you fall short and you have to go get a credit card or you have to go get a loan. And because your credit is no good, because the government in 1950s, 60s decided that they were going to start a credit scoring system. And by the 1980s, they were giving you a credit score. Now, if your credit score is no good, you can't get a good interest rate. Maybe not even get a loan. But when your credit score is no good, they give you a high interest rate. Most credit card companies are between 30-58% in interest. Remember, there was supposed to be a cap around 18% was supposed to be the max that they were supposed to be able to do. But because of loopholes, they've allowed it. Now, on cash advances, like if you go and you write a check to a cash advance place until you get your paycheck, most of those companies are charging 100% or 109% interest on that loan. So therefore, if your check is $400 and you have to go and you have to get one of these loans until your check comes to you, that $400 times 109%, you're paying an additional $436. So therefore, to get your $400 check cost you $836. $836 to just get you by because you couldn't afford to wait for your paycheck. And the same thing is going on with these companies, these big corporations, these big companies who are allowing you to get your paycheck early because you cannot survive without it. They are charging you 109% interest on these little loans so that way you can get by, so you can survive. Payday loans, these incentive loans that they're giving you at your corporation that you work for. These people are taking advantage because eventually, if you take and you work for a company and you need to get an advance on your paycheck, and you keep doing that, eventually you're almost working for that company for free by the time you're paying all the interest. And they have you locked in because until you pay them, you have to stay there. So not only are we volunteering to be slaves to these jobs, we are also becoming slaves because they have us over a barrel. Look at most people in the United States. They have to use these cash advances. They have to get advances on their paycheck, or they have to use credit cards because they cannot survive without it. Their pay that they make is not enough to survive. So they do what any other person would do. They pull loans, they get credit cards, they take out seconds, thirds, fourths on their house, mortgages. You're mortgaged to the gills. You have so much debt that you can't even function in the world. But that's the way the federal government designed it. That's what they wanted for you. They wanted you to be in debt because of the Federal Reserve, the interest rates, all that stuff. These people make a fortune. If they give you a loan for a car, they not only own the car dealership that you're buying it from, they're the majority stockholder in Ford and Chevy and all that. They own the repo companies that would repo it. They own the collection agency that would come after it. And they also own the Federal Reserve, where you're going to pay the interest to. So no matter what you do, they're going to make money. They are going to make a fortune off of you no matter what. And then, after you've failed to pay, they've took it back, they've sold it, they're still going to come after you for the money. So no matter how you look at it, they're going to make a fortune. And it was designed this way. So you would be in debt, you would be a slave to your job, you would pay taxes, and you would keep paying those taxes nonstop until you hopefully make it to the age of 72 where you can retire on the pennies that they will give you based on what you put into Social Security. Because remember what we were just talking about, you have no extra money to put aside to save so that way you have a better future for your family or life insurance when you pass away. No, you don't have that extra money. Otherwise, you wouldn't be cash advancing, you wouldn't be using credit cards with 20 to 58% interest, using those like their money. You wouldn't be going and taking 4 and 5 mortgages out on your house just to survive. If you had the money, you wouldn't be doing that. But most of us in the world do not have money like that. We have to work, slave, pay every dime, most of it in taxes. Then we have to advance, use credit cards, use mortgages, use loans. Sadly, 3 million to 4 million, maybe even 5 million now people a year are filing bankruptcy because they cannot do it. The minimum wage has not been raised in many years, but inflation keeps going up. Minimum wage stays down. I mean, we did the chart a while back and I showed you guys, literally, there is not a job, not many jobs anyways, in the United States that even cover what a family of 4 need to be making to scrape by. There used to be lower class, middle class, and upper class. Now there's middle class and upper class. Lower class has disappeared. They're considered poverty, poor, living on the streets. Middle class is paying all the taxes with whatever they can. It's not much, but what they can put in, they're paying it in taxes everywhere they go. And the upper class gets tax breaks and all these things, and they don't have to pay taxes. And if they do, it's very minimal, and they get tax breaks, and it's just the way the world works. The middle class is the one supporting all of these millionaires and billionaires. The world we live in is a sad place for most Americans right now. They say that there's no inflation, and they say that the jobs report under Biden was amazing. Well, they just learned that 1.5 million jobs were lied about. It wasn't real. So therefore, if the jobs that they said were created under Biden were not there, and that the inflation was way down, I think that they were lying about it all. Because, don't get me wrong, Trump is trying to change things. He's trying to lower the prices, but it takes time. And we were so far in the toilet that we're still feeling it. The American people, it's not like we can just, poof, climb out of debt. No, we can't. We have to pay all of these loans, all of these credit cards, all of these payday advances. We have to pay all of this stuff that we had to use in the last 4 years to just get through that presidency. And most people had to file bankruptcy. Many, many people, I'm talking 5 to 10 million people, had to file bankruptcy. I was one of them. I won't lie to you. Because of the way the system is created. It is not created for the American working person. It's created for the ultra wealthy, the elites, and the Congress and Senate, so they can continue to siphon money off of the taxpayer and become rich. It's time that we lower what they make. It's time to stop their insider trading and put it back to the way it used to be. Congress and Senate was basically a volunteer position where you would go and volunteer to help your constituents, make laws, get it done, and then get out of there. That all changed because they realized, right quick, fast, and in a hurry, that they could make a fortune. That's why most of them have been in there for 40 years plus. Because they realize, holy cow, I can make millions of dollars, do absolutely nothing. I can also invest those millions of dollars, because I have insider knowledge of what stocks are going to do what, and I can make a fortune that way too. I can get money from all of these committees and these PACs and make a fortune that way too. Why on earth would anybody want to leave a position in Congress or Senate? When you're making that kind of money and you have that kind of insider knowledge, no one would want to leave. No one would ever want to leave that position. I'm telling you right now, if someone offered me a position where I make $175,000 a year, but I get per diem, I get my travel paid for, my food paid for, my housing paid for. I also get insurance paid for, life insurance paid for. And then when I do decide to leave, I get a salary for the rest of my life. I get insider trading knowledge so I can take money and put it wherever I want, make a fortune there. Who in the world would ever want to leave that? No one. It's way too good to be true. No one would ever want to leave that. No one. So this isn't as long as a podcast as I normally do, but I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, literally the world we live in is designed to make you a slave. It is not in your favor. It has no intention of ever helping you. We need to help ourselves by standing up for what's right and make it the way it used to be. Make America great again. So we'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good night.